say repeal the.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Episode 6 here today. We've done a few in this week so far, but I just want to thank Lavelle, one of my good friends, for coming on here. Thanks, man, for hopping on. I mean, it's been a crazy week. The Bondi terrorist attack, and we've been seeing the feminist movement growing here in Australia too, corporate DEI. We talked about Candace Owens yesterday with my good friend TSM, and we were talking about how Candace is basically by herself now. She's going by herself. She's against Erica Kirk. She's against Nick Fuentes. She's against Steven Crowder and all these other guys. And she's in a movement of her own. But today's topics, guys, is going to be Australia. Australia's Prime Minister just announced new anti-Semitism laws. Now, obviously, we discussed a few days ago that Australia's Prime Minister doesn't intend for the Jewish community to be protected. His ultimate goal is to shut down free speech and turn us into a country like the UK, for example. And that is exactly why today he announced that hate speech in Australia, so-called hate speech, will be cracked down upon. He introduced five new legislatures, five new laws that he's trying to pass through in Parliament that would effectively shut down any hateful speech or racial speech to any group of people or racial discrimination. Now, we obviously know that his intent isn't well here, because if his intent was well, he would have prevented the Bondi attack that happened to the Jewish community here in Sydney, where I live. But that didn't happen. And so what we're seeing in Australia is a 180 from what Australian culture is really about to now this new communist socialist state that Albanese is trying to develop. Now, our next story is also going to be, this feminist movement growing in Australia, but also in America. I've been seeing some videos. We're going to react to that. Lavelle's here because he's a specialist, bro. He's what we call Hostradamus. You know what I'm saying? He knows. He speaks fluent womanese. He's he's what we call Myron, but he's a different version of Myron. Um, uh, and then we're also gonna talk about the fact that Los Angeles has had a New Year's Eve bomb threat, and the police haven't done really that much investigating. Obviously, they blamed a pro-Palestinian group, and as soon as I hear that word, I'm thinking false flag. So we're gonna go into that. But let's start off with this leftist woman that crashed out at Walmart. Apparently, this chick was in the line and some guy was in front of her. She pushed in, she shoved him, she got the items in his cart, and he threw them away. And she threw them away, and then she claimed rape. So let's take a look at this clip. I mean, this is just insane, but here we go.
Didn't touch you, man. You want did that? It's a prank. You're in. I need a room. I still got. Okay, he threw some of my stuff. Hell if I know. I'm so sorry. Well, she wasn't sorry when she cut in line. Green. To make it. Well, I just asked her if she saw anyone in line. That's a good goal.
Just walk up.
I'm just talking.
Walk up with her. Walk with Chris. Walk with Kay.
Just to calm everything down. I didn't touch you, man.
Lavelle, your thoughts on this, bro? This is insane.
I mean, from what I could see, that just looks like a classic case of mental illness, if you ask me.
What
It's
is it? What is she doing?
I don't know the whole story, but I know body language, man.
Yeah.
And she looked like she rode the short bus, just to
Yeah.
put it. So
Well, I mean, there's not much context here. We just have the clip, but from the clip, we can already assume a couple of things. We can assume where her political stance is. She just accused a man of rape when he didn't do shit. Like nothing. Like he literally stood behind her in line, or he was ahead, as we saw in the video. And the guy said, Lavelle, that he pushed into line and she got his items that were in his cart, and she picked him up and she threw him across the aisle. And now she's saying like, you need to stay away, you're the problem. Like, what the fuck? And she was wearing a mask. Obviously, she was wearing a mask. And obviously she had like some purple hair or some shit. But yeah, Lavelle, what do you think this is, bro? Because I know you see this on the daily because you live in LA, but Like what is this?
Hey man, first of all, I don't have women telling me that I raped them on the daily. I've
No,
never
no,
had a woman.
no, that's not what I meant, bro.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying because I have heard of it happening a lot, And I don't know. I think they need to start charging the women who falsely accuse men of rape, like like the what's his name? What's Pirates of the Caribbean? What's his name? I forget.
Johnny Depp, yeah.
Johnny Depp, yeah. Like that whole situation. There's a lot of women that get caught lying. And if they start getting charged, it might become something that, you only say if it's a real case, but it's too easy for them to throw it around nowadays. It's too easy.
Yeah, they say that rape is subjective. I don't know what the hell that means. Rape is subjective, meaning you can. I remember some women saying you can rape me with your eyes. Like, what the? Like, this is where we're at now. Like, this is where we're at. I saw a video of this girl on Fox News. She's like this libtard, right? And this Fox News host literally asks her, what is 2 plus 2? And she says it's not 4 because there's no such thing as objective reality.
Oh,
She
I
said
saw
that
that.
it's 5, and the people who say that it's 4 are racist because people who say that 2 plus 2 equals 4, they are discriminating against other points of view. I'm like, holy shit. How did we get here? You know? I mean, we both live in liberal cities, right? You live in Los Angeles and I live in Sydney, but as I said, I didn't mean it in that way, but I said that when you experience this on the daily, you see these types of women, right? Like, where are they getting this from? Are they getting it from TikTok? Like, I mean, I've been on TikTok before, bro, but this surely is not only TikTok, is it?
Well, if you want me to be real, this is why you don't date liberal women. Nothing's wrong with a liberal woman that's slightly liberal, because they
Hmm.
all are, for the most part, if you live in a big city like us. But the ones that are heavily into it, I
Hmm.
mean, heavily into it, far left, you don't want to date those, man, because it's that whole my truth thing. It's
Yeah,
that whole
yeah. Yeah.
and it comes from the ideology of the patriarchy, and they throw everything back on the patriarchy. Men are trying to hold us down, you know, just to do
Obviously,
it,
obviously false.
just to harm us. And it comes from that mindset of men are trying to do this to harm us. So what happens is a lot of the time we can already attest to how do I say it? How much women can psyop themselves, so to say.
Hmm.
Um, but now what they're doing is revoking consent, and that's a dangerous
Hmm.
thing. And I've heard women say that, and
Revoking consent, what do you mean?
like sexual consent to have sex. So
Yeah,
I've heard stories where they've had sex with a guy,
yeah,
went on dates with him, ended up having sex.
yeah.
Then like 6 months later, after he didn't talk to them anymore, now they're saying he raped me. They'll say I thought about it. No, I'm being for real. They'll say I
That's
thought about it.
crazy.
And the more I thought about it, I realized that he raped me. I'm like, well, first of all, if he raped you, I'm pretty sure you would have known right away. I mean, I don't know. That sounds like just a sketchy situation. The man probably shouldn't have been in that situation either. But it's dangerous, and you have to watch out. And you have to watch out for mental illness, because there's a
Hmm.
lot of people walking around that seem kind of normal, but they got some mental illness, and they will talk themselves into saying that it wasn't consensual. And it's just her word versus yours, and you're screwed. You're done for, man. You're cooked. So stay away from the short bus, bros.
Yeah. No, no, I agree. I agree. And I've heard stories about that. And that's the quote, right? That's the popular quote, guys. The popular quote a lot of people a lot of young men, a lot of young conservative men are saying right now is that sex you regret isn't rape. And that's I think that's super important because now you can have subjective reality, right? Not everything is concrete, nothing is finite. The law can be interpreted in this way and that way, and a man can rape me through her eyes, and if he stands behind me at Walmart, he's probably going to rape me. Like all of this sort of, disgusting propaganda just to pin the men down, which is insane because, I mean, a man created Walmart, a man created the clothes that you're wearing, A man created the phone you're using. His name is Steve fucking Jobs. You know, they have no respect. It's not just for men, by the way. They don't have any respect for their country. And this is what we're seeing, Lavelle. When we're going to go into the next topic, which kind of slides very well into Australian and American nationalism, right? Why do you think, Lavelle, the nationalist movement is increasing? Why do you think so? Why do you think people are becoming more nationalistic, especially the men?
Um, why are they becoming more nationalistic?
Yeah, nationalism. Why is it rising?
I would say that it's the bullshit is too apparent. It's in our faces because when everyone around you is enveloped in it and they're
Hmm.
just embodying the bullshit. You
Yeah.
know,
What
the
bullshit though? What are you talking about? Like
just
political?
common culture, man.
Oh, okay.
Political, cultural. Most of it is cultural,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay. What are we talking
politics.
about here? Like social dynamics, gender dynamics, like how men are perceived, how women are perceived, etc. Like the stereotypes. Um, you know, political
Um,
correctness, I would say too, bro. Political correctness, like making sure you can't say anything in public that would offend people, even if you believe the opposite, you know?
yeah, you can only control people so far until they realize this isn't normal, you know. Like they'll try to treat us like animals, like we don't know any better, like oh, like all these fucking they give us all these lines to walk inside of, to stay inside of, and you can't say this, you can't say that, you
Hmm.
can't be it, can't do that. Um, you should settle for this. You don't deserve that.
Yeah, never settle, go. Yeah.
People just want a good living. People just want to be able to work and make money, make enough money to support their families and have a loving partner who respects them. Be able to teach their kids what they believe and not some bullshit that was pushed on them from who knows where.
Hmm.
That's all that people want, and they're not even getting that simple, um, you know, those simple things. So
Yeah.
people are saying it's very obvious and it's very blatant. And social media, X has highlighted all these issues.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think people are smarter than we think. And when you talk about the one world order, all this shit, Illuminati, all this stuff that people used to make fun of in the 2010s. But like I said, it's been around since the early 2000s before that, but it just becomes more and more obvious,
Yeah.
as everything comes together. So I think people are nostalgic of the old days. And
Yeah, can I jump in here for a second? Because
Mhm.
TSM said that to me as well, guys. Yusuf, as you know, he's been on the pod many times. And Yusuf said the same thing that at the end of the day, guys, people don't really care. People just want to make their money. They want to be able to go to bed on time, sleep on time, eat good food, have a great time, invite their neighbors on the weekends, go to church, go to the mosque, go to the synagogue, go to the temple, just do their thing, not be disturbed, not be stopped, not have to deal with any type of external stress other than the stress they already have to deal with, right? The mandatory stress of life that I like to call, where it's your career, your financial health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your religious health, your familial health, etc. Your relationship health, very important too, guys. They don't want to deal with anything. They just want to be able to do what they want to do undisturbed and stay out of my life. Like seriously. And they can't even do that. And you're right, Lavelle. When they can't even meet these basic needs, that's when you get problems. That's when you get, these far right extremist movements. Nick Fuentes, he's an anti-Semite, he hates Jews, he's a Nazi, all this other bullshit. And Lavelle, to your point, I'm gonna play this clip real quick where you said that the bullshit is in our faces and we can't take it anymore. This was a comedy skit, but this is still true. Check this out here, Lavelle. Check this out. We're gonna react to this clip real quick. A man and a woman is sitting in a restaurant, and the bill comes.
Wish all men were feminists like you. Me too. So refreshing.
All right, here's that check for you, sir.
Sir? First of all, do not assume my pronouns. Second of all, how dare you assume that because I'm a man that I'm going to be paying for this whole dinner? Women are fully capable of paying for themselves. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to split the bill between you two then? Actually, why don't we do this so we can really drive this point home for you because you're giving me very misogynistic vibes right now? Leave the entire bill and she will pay for the entire thing because she is a strong, independent woman who does not need a man to provide for her. As a feminist woman, wouldn't you agree with that? Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Okay. Yeah. In that case, here's the check, ma'am. I'm sorry. Okay. Canceled. I cannot believe how toxic that guy was. No toxic. Maybe not. As a feminist man, I don't want to imply that you can't defend yourself just because you're a woman. Yeah, what? Yeah. Conservative.
Lavelle, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man, this got me because I debate my brother on these topics all the time. He's very opposite of me. He says he says he's not a liberal, but he's far left,
Hmm.
right? And to his points, I guess, where he's kind of right. He says that we tend to obsess over these topics of gender and this and that, but in reality, we're getting screwed over in a lot of other ways, and this is kind of a distraction. He's kind of right,
Really?
somewhat, somewhat.
It's a distraction.
It's important to pay attention to.
Yeah.
It's important to fight against the BS,
I
but
mean, come on, bro. That was ridiculous. What we just
yeah,
watched.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm saying, I don't know, man. It just got me thinking. It just got me
No,
thinking. It
no.
just got me.
Tell me what you're
We can't
thinking.
go too. We can't go too deep into uh idiocracy.
Hmm.
No, we can't
No,
go too
I
deep.
watched the movie. I watched the movie Idiocracy. I get what you're saying.
But it's important to point out, and yeah, that's a comedy skit, but
You
it's
reckon
almost
most people will watch that video, Lavelle, and say like, "Oh my God, this is happens in real life too," or they're just gonna be like, "Oh, bro, that's just fun." What do you reckon most people's reaction will be?
what do you mean? Like,
Do you think most people that watch this video, the skit that we just watched, will they be like, "Damn, that kind of resembles real life," or are they gonna be like, "Bro, that's just a comedy skit. That's just staged. That's just fun." What do you think most people's reactions are gonna be to that?
well, comedy has this fantastic ability to point out um, you know, issues in society that you can't really always take on straightforward.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that the video points, it highlights double standards that
Hmm.
people don't really think about when they spew this feminist, anti-patriarch bull, ideology.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm trying to think of what the counter argument would
Yeah,
be
yeah. Well, you said your
at the
brother
video.
had a counter argument. What was his counter argument to that?
Well, see, the issue with his counter argument, where he's partially correct, he's saying that um, all of these topics were thrown at conservatives to distract them from what's actually going on, um, with our government, with our freedoms being taken away, with all this stuff. And he's kind of right, but he misses the point of the family being,
The nuclear.
religion, family. This is where we get our core values from.
It's the
This is,
nuclear, yeah.
yeah, we learn some of the most important lessons in our lives is from our family when we're children, right?
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah,
missing
people
that.
say that your definition of love is how you watched your parents. Like that's where you get your definition of love from, the relationship between your parents as a kid. Yeah, that's what, you know.
Yeah. So and also the fact that people would talk about you. People would say you can't say that LGBTQ is a virus, all this shit. They would say you can't say that back in the 2000s, back in the 90s. But the fact is, the more that something spreads, it becomes, it grows exponentially, you know?
Hmm.
The more prevalent something is, the more it's going to grow. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
Until we have this breaking point or something that kind of flips
Hmm.
around or until it gets to a certain point where people say, "Oh, whoa," you know. But so yeah, I think we're protected against certain ideologies for a reason throughout history, but it'll play out how it plays out. And
How is it going to play out?
I mean,
Well, the
it's not
men know about
natural.
it. How long do you think until the
It's
women
a
start seeing through the bullshit?
a lot of them do, man.
Really? Well, this is
Well,
this is rich. I mean, this is rich coming from you because you live in Los Angeles and I live in Sydney, two incredibly
I'm lying,
liberal
bro. I'm
cities, you
lying.
know?
I'm lying.
But
I'm talking about the women over 30.
oh, okay. All right, right. What did they say?
The 20s, the women over 30, they were before us, they're still half logical. But the
Huh.
20s, these younger girls, nah, man, they're cooked. They're cooked.
The younger the younger it gets, the worse they are, honestly.
Yeah, they're cooked.
Teenagers
But
done.
oh yeah, they're done for, bro.
Yeah.
It's over, man. It's over. And what's just gonna be a whole lot of masculine women and a whole lot of cucks.
Mm.
But it would either be that I don't see a lot of relationships thriving here in the West. I don't see that happening. All the relationships that I can think of that are thriving are they're married to foreign women.
Speaking of foreign women, it's good that you bring that up because I'm gonna bring this up. Um, the passport bro movement, right? The passport bro movement, or the reverse passport bro movement, where you find somebody that's already in your country, but they're not, white, because a lot of the white women in Western countries are very liberal. And as you said, conservatives don't like to date liberals, and liberals don't like to date conservatives, right? We have that sort of thing, because our
Liberals
values are
love dating
completely different,
conservatives.
our value systems are completely different, Lavelle. But just to quickly point this out, it's not this passport bro movement, but what I've realized is, and what you've told me on all these spaces that we've done, especially with Nuclear and Pearl, very famous people, right? Jay Waller and other people like that. I was with Myron too, a few weeks ago, and we had this conversation. Zerka hosted the space, yeah. Zerka and Myron were talking, and I like Myron more than I like Zerka. I think Zerka's a little bit weird, but Myron is cool. And Myron said this, right? Myron said
Dirk is
this.
a little weird, but he got game.
He's weird, yeah, yeah, for
He
sure, for
got
sure.
game, bro. He's
To
top
each his
level.
own style, you know what
When
I'm
it comes
saying?
to game, when it comes to
Yeah.
game with women, Zerger got game, bro.
Right, right,
Can't
right. Okay,
can't
okay. Just
dispute
just
that.
just to point this out though, right?
Mhm.
What Myron said is that even if you get somebody that's non-white, which means you get rid of that liberal bullcrap, it doesn't matter because they're still probably going to be liberal. And not only are they going to be liberal, but they might even be more uptight about their values. You know why? Lavelle, because they come from those foreign countries that are conservative, like India, like Pakistan, like China, like
Mm.
Vietnam, like Laos, like Cambodia, like Saudi Arabia. Then they come here and then they realize that, holy shit, we don't have to be good people. We don't have to be good women. We don't have to follow God. We can just do whatever we want. And they become even more liberalized than the white women that are here already or the black women that are here. And that's the phenomenon that I want to really stress and emphasize for our audience, guys. Whether you're a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter because even if you're going for that strategy of reverse passport, bro, which is I don't know if it's a term, but reverse passport, bro. I just made it up right now. It's where you find someone that's non-white that's here already. You know what I'm saying? They kind of come to you, right? Instead of you going to them. And that's where I get that reverse passport, bro thing from. But it won't work because these people are even more radicalized. They are even more uptight in their beliefs. They're even more stubborn because they know how it is in those countries, right? Lavelle, like you've dated Indian girls, you've dated Pakistan, like you've met Pakistani girls, you've met these types of girls. You met Chinese, you met Asian, you met all sorts of girls, right? And they're even more uptight about their beliefs than even some of the black women or the white women, right? That were in the United States for hundreds of years, right? They're the what we call the original Americans, right? Like the black people, the white people, or something like that. So I want to. This is not a video, but I want to read this out to you and our audience. Uh, I mean, somebody, the account just posting else posted this, and I want to share this. Lavelle, let me know if you can read this. The caption is arranged marriage husband acting like I did it. And this is a TikTok video, and this is this Indian girl, this G, right? This fucking H1B G, saying that meeting my arranged marriage husband, acting like I didn't get railed. by my white boyfriend 30 minutes ago in the back seat of his car. Did you
This
get
is why
that?
you have to be a villain, bro. This is
Did you
I
can
hate
you
to
read it
say
by
it.
the way, Lavelle?
Yeah, I see it, but
Your
I hate to say
reaction.
it, bro. I hate to say it, bro, but this is why you have to be. If you're dating in a first world country, you have to be the villain, bro, to
Yeah.
protect your heart from this.
But let me but
It
let
sounds
me
bad.
let me stress when Lavelle says villain, he doesn't mean bad guy. What he says is you have to be the unpopular. You have to be you have to make the unpopular choices. And people will villainize you for that. People will villainize you for having values. People will villainize you guys for not accepting women the way they are. Men, we have to self-improve. We have to get better. As you can see, Lavelle's jacked. So am I, by the way, but I'm a higher body fat percentage. But it's
You
like,
live my dream.
yeah, that's all like niggas are trying to point that. I'm like, fuck you, bro. I bench 330, shut the fuck up. But it's like, in the same way or not, whether we have different genetics or we have different financial circumstances, whether our families are rich or poor, guys, what me and Lavelle are trying to stress is that men are not accepted for the way they are. We have to self-improve. We have to get better. Society just doesn't accept us for who we are. The whole, it's fine who you are, you're perfect the way you are, that's a women thing. That's a women phrase. And even though a male singer like Justin Bieber said, you're perfect just the way you are, that song was intended for women, not for men, right? He says, baby, you're perfect just the way you are. We're not going to play the song, but I'm sure you know what that song is. And the fact that this Indian girl, this fucking G, is saying, she's making fun of her arranged marriage. And look at her face too, Lavelle. Look at that. Like she's clearly, it's like this arrogant attitude. It's like a disgusting face. That's like the face when you, I don't know, see like the ugliest guy in the world or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's like a face of disgust when you see like a cockroach or something. She's like putting on the veil. You can see like the Indian dress she's wearing. She's putting on the veil, like getting ready. And she's saying that I'm acting like I didn't get railed by my white boyfriend 30 minutes ago in the backseat of his car. Insane, insane behavior. I mean, Lavelle, just look at a few of these comments. This account called India Taking L said, I'm stealing this lol. H1B Pajit still took her white boyfriend's IT job though. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a fucking Akash Singh. Akash is going through this exact thing right now. Better get your girl under control. That's what this guy is saying. But yeah, sorry, Lavelle. I just made a bit of a commentary there. But what do you think of this?
If any man ever dates her, he's cooked. Like he's just
Except for
an
the
idiot.
white boyfriend. Yeah.
Bro, and yeah, man. It's to the point in the Western world where we've allowed so much freedom. We've just made hedonism popular. So
Hmm.
you have to be, if you're gonna date a person seriously, you have to be 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. That's with everything. And it sounds wrong, but you
That's
really
how
have to,
women date.
yeah, you really have to be ready to be cheated on. And as a man, you need to get your heart broken a few times.
Really?
If you
Okay.
if you're dating in the Western world, yeah, man, you gotta be somewhat cold. You gotta be, because you see it right there, bro. Like that shit, that's so common.
What, the
That's
girl,
so
that's the Indian girl.
Yeah, man. The women are like men over here nowadays, man. The women are like men over here.
Really? I don't
Most
even
of the
see men
time,
behaving like that though. They never say like, "Oh my God, I railed my white girlfriend or something in the back seat of my car." I never hear people because if men talk like that, they would be in jail. You know what I'm saying?
well, what happens with a lot of women is they do that. The what do you call it?
It's not just rage bait though. I'm pretty sure, I'm sh damn sure she's being serious about it, you know?
No, I'm saying that this expression of sexuality is a form of my words are losing me. See, it's too late right now. That's why it's a form of they're fighting against the system. You know what I'm saying? It's a form of
Rebellion.
protest, rebellion. There you
Yeah.
go. I'm losing my words. It's a form of rebellion. So, maybe one guy cheated on them or broke their heart. And women can be ruthless, man. Women can be ruthless.
Oh, and they become colder than we do, past us.
100%.
Yeah. Um,
100%. So it's just, I mean, it's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. We have to accept it. We're in America. We're in America. We're in the Western world, wherever you are, first world country, whatever. It's just part of the game, man. And if a girl cheats on you, You know,
Now all of a sudden Philippines is looking pretty good, you know.
Philippines, you looking good, bro. Philippines, you looking good, man.
Philippines is looking pretty good, man. No, I know. I have Filipino friends, but like the guy friends, but it's like, they're still they're like really good character, bro. They don't they like I remember when I lost my fucking wallet, bro, in school and like, Filipino guy comes up to me, he's like offering to pay for it all. And he does it multiple times, by the way, because I couldn't find my wallet for like days, man. And
Hmm.
it's just that character, bro. They have that, and I think this is where even the people that are like, so we love the first world and everything, this is where they lose it, because it's like you created this mess, and now we got to deal with it. Like, this is not the first world. We can't have this type of culture here. And I want to play this last clip before we move on to the next topic, which I think is the most important topic, because this is something that's getting me heated up. And people are legit, dude. They are literally applying for visas right now to leave Australia. Like, I'm not even like they are on the way, bro. They are on the way to fucking LA. But we're gonna play this one last clip. And this is one of those dating shows. I'm sure you've seen it, Lavelle, where they popped a balloon and shit. And this is for
Yeah.
this is for black women and black men. And let's play this clip real quick. Um, they all the women popped their balloons before the guy even entered the room.
Hello, welcome in. Oh, closer. Come on in. Don't be scared. What's your name?
My name is Tavarius.
Tavarius, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Mhm.
And what do you do?
I actually am on tour for PBS Children's Story.
Oh, like you write children's books
Yeah,
or
I have an animation company that I started when I was 21 years old.
nice.
It's basically about my childhood and teaching young black boys that black dads do care.
Wow, I love that. Okay. Now, what are some things you like to do for fun?
So I have a Airbnb that's kind of like in the lake. So I'm a nature boy. So I love to climb trees, my time off. I love to draw. And I honestly just like peace. So I do a lot of peace and help for people who like need emotional regulation.
Okay, nice. Now, what are some things you look for in a woman?
Um, I kind of take everybody for who they are. So if you are naturally more outgoing, I try to match that. If you're inside, I try to match that. So I'm kind of like I'm a I like to make my woman happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what are some deal breakers?
Deal breakers is if you don't have any passion, like if you don't know what you want to do in life, I kind of can't help you with that. You got to love yourself and figure that out for yourself.
Okay. I'm 26 and I initially popped it because of the outfit. But now that I get close to you and I heard what you say, I want my balloon back. Oh.
Bruh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I can always change your fit, baby. I love fashion. We can go shopping.
Thank you. And I actually have more fits in my book bag back there. You feel me? Like,
Can you get that
What's
balloon?
up?
I don't mind. She asked for it. I'll hand it to you.
Thank you. Oh,
I like spoiling my lady, man.
Don't give it back to
Lavelle,
her.
can you explain? I mean, there's all sorts of dynamics here. Should we go? We'll get at your take on this, and then we'll go through the clip a little bit, I'll try to explain what's going on to the audience. But Lavelle, what's happening here? Why did they pop? What did the guy say that made them change their mind? And then why did she want the balloon back?
Hypergamy, bro.
Can you explain that? What is hypergamy?
It's hypergamy, man. Women always want the best, and they all
What is the best?
with social media and internet nowadays, they all think they can get the best.
What is the
And
best though?
if you look at how we're programmed nowadays with social media, which is what we pay the most attention to, hours and hours a day on our phones,
Yeah.
it's about what looks good, bro. It's about what looks good. It's what catches our eye at first. So
Hmm.
that's why they popped it before he even came in and said a word. If you would do this show back in the 80s, back in the 70s,
Yeah.
guarantee you most of them women would not have popped that balloon. They would have at least had the dignity to wait and hear what this man has to say. We'll see, hear what he's about.
Huh.
He's a good man. They don't care about that, bro. They don't care about that. Everybody is self-absorbed nowadays. So it's a very surface level society, and it's sad, and it's
But Lavelle, I've watched the men do this to a woman who walks in the room, and they never almost pop the balloon. The only time I've seen men like this whole black dating show, right? The only time I've ever seen men pop the balloon, guys, is when it was a trans woman. That's valid. But
Yeah.
but other than that, they've never popped.
But it's also just being a good person. I hate to say it, right? Because the world doesn't care, right? We all know this, the world doesn't care.
No, they
But if
don't.
you're in a show like this and there's a few people in the room and it's a pop the balloon person or show, it's just being a good person, man. It's just people don't have that
Yeah, but modern women
sincerity.
don't understand that though.
Modern women, they don't have that sincerity nowadays. I mean, the patriarchy, right? Every man is bad, blah blah blah. That's the base programming, and it's partially our fault because men are failing too. Men are failing too. A lot of men's fathers have failed them. So then,
That's what he talked about. That's what he talked about, bro. He said that he runs a children's animation company where he teaches Black America that Black dads do care about their sons and daughters and stuff like
mhm.
that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
So I can't even blame the women on the show necessarily, right? You can because they have free will and autonomy, and they can go to church and they can try to improve themselves and
but I
become
would
better.
say it's disrespectful, bro, the fact that they all popped.
It is. It shows. I mean, to a degree, it shows where their heart is. I mean,
I mean, when I looked at that
it,
crowd, it was just a bunch of Shaniquas and Laquinas, you know what I'm saying? And
how crazy,
let's just
bro.
look at it. Let's just look at it. I
How
know it's
crazy,
fucking
bro. The
um
scales the scales are tipped so far. And this is why
Interesting.
yeah. I'm just gonna where am I going to go? Um hold on. So she they all pop.
he came out with a creepy smile too.
What's the body language here,
And
Lavelle?
it's not even yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. It's not even that they all pop too. It's that they pop and then they laughing at the dude. He didn't do anything but walk out. You're sitting here laughing at him in front of his face. Just pure disrespect. Like who raised these women, bro? Who raised these women? This is what we do nowadays, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't pop a balloon and laugh. I don't care if a paraplegic walked in,
Hmm.
a girl with no legs, no arms. I wouldn't laugh. It's
She
just
could be
basic respect.
Palestinian.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's
she could be
fucking
better.
dark.
No, that's crazy. It's just basic respect, man. It's basic respect. Nobody has any respect. That's just our culture nowadays. And it's bullshit. People like that, you just gotta if you're in America and you're dating, especially in a big city, you're running across so many women like this, bro. Just lack of respect,
Los
just
Angeles?
ugly, ugly souls. And it's not to be hateful, but it's the truth. It's very
Is this
common.
only in Los Angeles, Lavelle, or is this in other places like uh
It, it's in all the big cities, man. Los Angeles,
New York,
um, uh, Miami. I'd say New York, a lot of it too. New York has some, mm, yeah, New York too.
San Francisco,
Yeah,
Chicago?
it's just culture, man. It's just American culture, which
Yeah.
bleeds into the rest of the world. But it's ugly, dude.
Unfortunately,
It's
you know what I'm
ugly,
saying?
and we have a lot of work to do. And I
Yeah.
say it's with the men. We have to be doing what we need to do, whether that means reading the Bible, reading the Quran, reading
Hmm.
whatever, you know,
Being a man of
building up
God.
your faith. Yeah, building up your faith, being a good example, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, reading, you know, having a good heart, treating people right. It's our job as men to do this. Um, because what I was gonna say earlier, a lot of liberal men, this is gonna be a unpopular opinion, but a lot of liberal women, I mean, will actually start having conservative views after they date a conservative man. If that man leads them properly, they'll adopt his views. Not all of them, but you would be surprised how many far left leaning women will adopt conservative views after they date a conservative man.
Hmm.
Now, if they break up with him, they're gonna go right back to it. But while they're with him, so that's an unpopular opinion, but um, it's the truth, man. It starts with us. But yeah, that's ugly. That's ugly, bro. That's really ugly. A lot of people have very adolescent minds, you know. They're not very mature,
Mm,
and it's just what it is. It's terrible to see.
yeah. I mean, it's just insane. It's just insane. And I think it's not going to go away anytime soon. And that's why we do these podcasts, guys. That's why we upload videos like this. So you can see how ridiculous the situation is. It's just it's insane that not only, as you said, Lavelle, it's not just Americans that have to go through this. Unfortunately, when we won it, American culture bleeds into the rest of the world, and that's a good thing because it raised the rest of the world up from the big ground, right? It raised countries like Australia from the ground to the up. But now, the negatives are coming here too. And speaking of the negatives, guys, we're going to move on to the next topic here. This is the Australian attack on Bondi Beach, but not the attack because we've discussed that. Then we discussed the Mossad. Then we discussed the Israeli Zionists and the conspiracy theories and everything that's going on over there and the consequences of what's going to happen. But the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, just uh, launched a statement in front of Canberra, in front of Parliament, addressing the entire nation, saying that he will, quote unquote, combat anti Semitism. Now, as you know, everybody, we predicted this in the past few episodes. We told you guys it does not matter who did the shooting, whether it was an ISIS agent or it was the Israeli Mossad. It doesn't actually matter, guys, because two things will always be true. Number one, it's a terrible tragedy, and we should mourn this. But number two, which is even more important, is that the consequences of this will be the same. What am I talking about? As we know, Australia has been facing a anti-Semitism problem for a few months now. I would say since October 7th. And that's not me saying it. That's according to the Israeli cabinet, the Israeli Knesset, and the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu said in a press statement released 4 days ago, Lavelle, that he sent a letter to the Australian Prime Minister saying that anti Semitism was on the rise. Now, obviously, we know that he conflated anti Semitism with anti Zionism, right, Lavelle? He conflated criticism of Israel and the Israeli government and what they're doing in Gaza with being a Nazi. And that is what they ultimately want to do. We've been saying this for months, and a lot of people have been saying this for months, and some people have been saying this for years. You have the people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson that have been saying it for months, and then you have people like Nick Fuentes and Myron Gaines and Andrew Tate that have been saying this sort of stuff for years, and they got canceled. Myron got canceled when he was 30. Nick got canceled when he was 18, right? When he was around my age. And so we want to play this clip, Lavelle. I don't want to get your full reaction to this. This is insane. And I love how the comment section just destroy this guy. But this is Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, saying that we're going to introduce new hate speech laws. Take a listen, guys.
Seen a series of appalling attacks targeting Australia's Jewish community. That culminated on Sunday in one of the worst acts of mass murder that this country has ever seen. The terrorist atrocity that killed 15 innocent people, including 10-year-old Matilda, who will be buried later today, was an attack on our Jewish community, but it was also an attack on the Australian way of life. Australians are shocked and angry. I am angry. It is clear we need to do more to combat this evil scourge. Today, I'm announcing a significant number of additional actions to build on the plan. Firstly, the Attorney-General and Minister for Home Affairs will develop a package of legislative reforms to crack down on those who spread hate, division and radicalisation. The National Security Committee has agreed that changes will include the following 5 points. Agreed changes will include: 1, aggravated hate speech offence for
There you
preachers
go.
and leaders who promote violence. Secondly, increased penalties for hate speech.
There you go.
Violence. Thirdly, making hate an aggravating factor in sentencing crimes for online threats and harassment.
There you
Fourthly,
go.
developing a regime for listing organisations whose leaders engage in hate speech, promoting violence or racial hatred. And fifthly, developing a narrow federal offence for serious vilification based on race and or advocating racial supremacy.
Hmm.
The Minister for Home Affairs will also have new powers to cancel or reject visas for those who spread hate and division in this country or would do so if they were allowed to come here.
Hmm.
David Gonski has agreed to lead a 12-month task force, which will include the envoy, to ensure the Australian education system prevents, tackles, and properly responds to anti-Semitism. The East Safety Commissioner, the Special Envoy, and the Department of Communications will work together to provide online safety advice to address anti-Semitism. This builds on the extension in NYE as well, all of these measures of funding to provide overall security support to the Jewish community, including at places of worship. I can also announce today the disaster recovery funding arrangements will be triggered in response to the attack. So the Commonwealth and New South Wales will share the financial burden of the recovery. This is the first time that the DRFA has been used for a terrorist attack. This will provide support to victims, their families, and small business impacted in the wake of the Bondi Beach terror attack.
Okay. Now, before we go into this, I immediately dislike the video, as you guys can see here, because this guy's full of shit and he's destroying our country. But just take a look at the comments here. We don't have to read through this, but Lavelle, if you can see the comments, they'll crack down on everything except the one thing, which is the actual cause of the problem. What is he doing about immigration? Once again, doing everything except addressing the actual cause of the problem. Um, More empty laws in over his head. He is the first one performing hate speech. This is Australia's Joe Biden. I kind of agree
Mm.
with that, you know? I kind of agree with that. But Lavelle, crazy. Crazy. I mean, we just watched that entire clip. It was about 3 minutes. But absolutely insane. And every single time Lavelle he mentioned a new legislature, I said, "There you go." I'm sure you heard it. I, this is they're saying this openly that their end goal is to shut people down if they spread anti-Semitism, which we know, of course, the Israeli government is going to conflate anti-Semitism with anti-Zionism. What do you think of this?
Man, never waste a disaster though. Never. It's real quick. It's almost like they had it written up before, right?
Hmm.
It's real quick.
They did actually, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent a letter to the Australian Prime Minister 4 months ago saying that anti-Semitism was on the rise. Guess what? That letter coincidentally came the day before the pro-Palestinian protest in Sydney. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying it's a little bit of a coincidence, you know. The letter comes the day before the biggest pro-Palestinian protest in the entire world. And it was, by the way, almost 90,000 people showed up to the protest. It was the biggest one
I
so far.
just did they find any notes or any letters written by the killer, saying that he did it because of this or because of that? Because if it was really, you know, inspired by hate, against Israel or Jews or whatever, then
And notice how Lavelle, they quickly called him a terrorist. They had no issue. You know, you have no issue. They have no issue with genocide in Gaza or how Zionist Jews control Australia, right? They control the US. We know they control your country, but they control my country too. They control the UK. They control New Zealand too. They banned Candace Owens from New Zealand and Australia. She's not allowed to come here. They banned Tucker Carlson too. So they're both banned from coming here because they're anti-Semitic, and which we obviously know that means you're not a cocksucking Jew or something like that. You know, you're not like you're not a slave to the Zionists or something like that. But I mean, Lavelle, like, what do you think of Prime Minister? Prime Minister. I mean, he's
it's a whole thing of what is hate speech. What's the definition of hate speech? How are they gonna
we know what that is, criticizing Israel. That's what they want to do, though.
if I was in Australia, I would be very cautious to if I'm gonna criticize anybody to criticize the country and not say Jews or not say
Yeah.
this or not say that. That way when they do come for you, you could say, oh, all I did was criticize the country and it's very factual, you know?
Mm.
But that would be hard for most people to do, but
Because it's
will they?
impossible.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm saying,
And this is where, dude, and Lavelle, this is where Nick Fuentes, again, I don't agree with everything that Nick has to say. Some of the shit that he says, when he says stuff like, I love Stalin, I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, dude, Stalin killed like 30, 60 million Christians. What are you talking about? You
yeah,
know,
he's
like,
just practicing his free speech in America, you know? That's all it is.
I guess, but some of it is rage bait at the end of the day. But dude, this is where Nick Fuentes kind of won. And he won because Nick was not afraid to say the word Jew. He wasn't afraid to say the word Jewry. He wasn't afraid to say the word Zionist, right? Candace and Tucker were. If you notice, Candace and Tucker only criticize Israel and Zionists and Christian Zionists too. But Nick goes
Mm.
a step further and actually identifies more issues. And I don't agree with everything Nick says. Obviously, I've said this before and I'll say it again. But this is why Nick kind of rose in popularity because he definitely was not scared to say what he thinks. Number one, people don't like a coward, right? And that's what you see. That's why the Zionists are losing, especially people like Megyn Kelly, especially Ben Shapiro and Josh Hammer, who tried to profit off Charlie Kirk's death, which I think was horrible. It was disgusting, you know. As soon as he died, Ben Shapiro says, I'm going on tour, guys. Insane. But
Yeah.
but Lavelle, I want to say this because I think you need to hear it. I think every American needs to hear it. I think every British guy needs to hear it. I think every person in the West needs to hear this. What do they need to hear? It's this. About Australia, there is something, Lavelle, and I hope you understand by the end of this explanation. And tell me if you're confused on anything I say, right? There is something extremely wrong about Australian culture, especially under this Prime Minister, right? The Australian culture has shifted from the American type of culture, okay, Lavelle, to a completely socialist communist culture where the culture is if you have something to say, if you disagree with someone, if you don't agree with somebody's points, if you have strong views, if you have strong opinions about something, if you care deeply about a cause, right, whether it's a conservative cause or a liberal cause, shut up. You're not allowed to talk about it. Okay? And if you oppose a narrative, you're not allowed to talk about it. And what they've done is they've forced people into a corner where the only solution is extreme violence, like what we saw in Bondi Beach. That is what they have done. Albanese, our prime minister, has deliberately done that. He's created a culture where Australians have no choice but to resort to violence because they're not allowed to speak freely. They're not allowed to speak openly. They're not allowed to debate people. There's no, and this is where it leads into the next point where Australia doesn't have a debate culture. We don't have the Charlie Kirk culture. Dude, nobody sits on university campuses and they don't set up a booth and they say, prove me wrong, as Charlie did, or Michael Knowles, or Matt Walsh, or Ben Shapiro, or Myron Gaines, goes to these colleges and they do these tours and they debate 200, 300, 400 students. They sit in front of an audience. It's public speaking, debating. I do that on a daily, by the way, but that is not reflective upon the Australian culture. My individualism is not reflective of Australian culture, Lavelle. We don't have the Charlie Kirk culture. And because we don't have the Kirk culture, speech is not there as a plug. You can't have speech as an outlet. You need certain outlets. Like they recommend angry people. I know in Europe, instead of using pharmaceuticals and pills and medications to solve the mental health issues, they tell people in Greece to go to the beach, right? They tell people in European countries to go on holiday, to go on vacation, right? I'm sure you know this. In Italy, they tell people to walk around, to go to the gardens, right? To swim, to run, to hike, to go up a mountain, to eat good food, to eat good, I don't know, pizza or pasta or spaghetti, you know, to eat well, to drink a bit of wine, stuff like that. We don't have that here. We don't have those outlets here. So if you don't have an outlet of free speech, the only outlet is the gun, is the bullet. It's the violence. And that is exactly what happened. And so I agree with even the Zionists. I agree with the Zionists on this simple point, Lavelle, where they failed Australians. They failed Australian Jews. They failed Australian Muslims. They failed Australian Christians. They failed everybody. They failed every single one of us because they don't understand that if you don't have the Charlie Kirk culture, if you don't have the debate culture, and by the way, I've debated these people and I've already told you guys, and I've told Lavelle this too. On university campuses, I can't say anything. You can't even say anything. I remember when I was on a phone call with you, Lavelle, and I was walking through campus, and I had to deliberately just be quiet because I was walking past, a bunch of girls or something like that. They got the nose rings and they got the fucking purple hair and everything, and they got the tats and everything. And even the ones that didn't, even the Indians, even the Chinese, even the Jeets, you know, even the H1Bs, even the international students, even they act like that. So if they act like that, what's the hope? You can't set up a table on my campus. I will try to, by the way, Lavelle, and I will try to live stream that event. It's coming soon.
Don't get kicked out of Australia, bro.
No, no, I won't get kicked out, but I just want to see, and I'm just going to come up with the most
Don't
moderate
send you
position.
back
The
to
first
India,
debate I
bro.
feel like is going to be no, the first debate, bro, because you have to start off soft, you got to start off soft. The first debate I think is something that everyone agrees on, especially the liberals, which is the whole Palestinian argument. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be talking. Hopefully, I can garner attention from that, and then you move on to the next cause. But by the time we arrive at abortion is murder, bro, I'm cooked.
You're
Like
done.
eventually I'll have to get there. And that's interesting because then you get there and then you see who these people are really like, whether they're just supporting you because your slogan is popular, like Free Palestine, or they actually agree with you. And that's the issue, Lavelle. Those are a bunch of issues. I think I pointed out three or four there. So what do you think of that?
Yeah,
We
man.
don't have the culture, man.
That's a really good point that I didn't even think about. Anytime you silence, you can think of any civilization, man, any society. If you silence the people to where they can't even voice their opinions on what they think are major issues, there's gonna be violence. So
Yeah.
that's just a side effect, man. That's gonna happen.
What did
And
you think about my
it
point though, where I said that we don't have that culture like Americans do? We don't have that open society debate culture.
yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, we're so used to it here in America. If we got silenced to that degree that you guys are, it would be great. It would be like the purge, bro. You
And
wouldn't
I
want
think
to
I
be
think that that's something that liberals and conservatives would team up on, right? I think that's something they would team up on. The fact
depending
that
on
you
the
want free
topic.
speech.
If it affects both sides, if it's a topic that only affects one side now.
Well, here in Australia, it's affecting both sides.
On what, the Palestinian movement?
For example, yes, that's one of them, right? Because obviously, a majority of the people that support Palestine in Australia are liberal, but a lot of them are conservative too. And they're silencing the conservatives by calling them Nazis. So
That would be a point to see, that's the problem though, man.
what's the problem?
You rarely get anywhere arguing, but that would be a point to bring up to highlight, at least on the importance of free speech, because they would be able to see it, how it impacts them when it comes to the Palestinian, topic.
Hmm.
But
Well, what do you think about a prime minister? Like, what do you think is going to happen? What's the consequence of this attack? By the way, this went viral, dude. It went viral a few days ago. I don't know if you saw it, but it was trending on Twitter. It's still trending on Twitter, by the way.
yeah, bro, you just gotta be careful, man. I mean, he's talking to you,
Yeah,
you
he
know?
is kinda in a way. I get it, but I'm at least I'm not white, so he can't play that fucking white supremacist card. Fucking, he can't play like a Nazi card or anything. So I think I'm. Oh, and by the way, dude, a vast majority of the public are with me. So here.
Yeah.
Yeah, on this free speech issue and the Palestinian issue and stuff like that. Because obviously they want to their goal is to shut down the Palestinian cause with that. Why would they say mention Israel, right? Why would they mention Jews? It could have happened, dude. Think about it.
Ah,
It could have happened to any other group. It could have been a mass attack on the Muslims or the Christians. No one would have gave a shit, If by the way, dude, 15 people died. If those 15 people were Christians, no one would give a shit. I'm sorry. Not even close to the level. As soon as that attack happened, bro, Fox News went crazy. CNN went crazy. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, there's people dying in the Congo right now. Millions of people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the topic, guys. We're just gonna go into one last topic here. This is the Los Angeles New Year's Eve bomb threat we're gonna go through. Lavelle, can you give us a preview into this? What do you know about it? What were they trying to do here?
Shit. I haven't heard too much on it, man. I just know there were supposedly this group. I don't know. It was four people,
Let's
and
play this clip. Let's play this quick clip
yeah,
real
you
quick, Lavelle,
play it.
from
It'll
Fox
give
News.
better information.
FBI now reports that it's disrupted a planned New Year's Eve terror attack in Los Angeles. Four suspects in custody, the FBI identifying them as members of a pro-Palestine extremist group. They're suspected of planning coordinated IED attacks targeting 5 different locations in Los Angeles. But based on the reporting now, that plot has been foiled. We will wait for more out of LA or out of Washington, D.C. The FBI now reports that.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I can find any more information on this, but these are the four individuals, guys. Take a look. Apparently,
I
they're part
wonder
of
why
some.
they got caught. What the fuck? They ain't carrying out shit. Shit. I'm surprised they didn't get caught sooner. The hell? Look at the one in the middle.
Yeah, holy shit,
I don't know
man.
if that's a dude or a chick. Yeah,
A
they ain't doing.
far left communist
I'm sorry.
decolonization terror group.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, I don't know. Is that really the way to fight a genocide though? To kill random people? I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think so.
That's insane, bro.
I would need more information on exactly what they were trying to bomb, like where, what building specifically, you know,
Oh, and
who
of
they were.
course the Zionists jumped on this. You don't
Bro,
think
go
so?
down. Look at that guy. Hold on.
Yeah, holy shit.
Interesting.
These are the
Interesting.
types of people telling you that feminism is great. Those are the types of people. You know what I'm saying? Insane.
You know,
Insane. Like just it's insanity. It's mental illness, but it's insanity to a certain extent too. You can't really ignore that.
right cause, wrong way to carry it out.
Right cause, wrong way to carry it. Exactly. And I feel like
Um,
again, this could be another false flag. So we're gonna just to finish this off here.
And
I'm sure
I
you
don't
know.
even believe they're a pro-Palestinian group. Do we know that? I don't know.
No,
It
no,
seems
we
like
don't. We
every
know what that
all I'm
is,
gonna
bro.
say, bro, everything that comes up as of recently has been Netanyahu says it's Iran. Even there's some CEO that got
Oh,
murdered
Netanyahu
two
blamed
days ago.
Iran for the attacks in Australia. You don't know?
I
In
know he did. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Every single major assassination, every single terrorist attack that has come up recently has been blamed on Iran,
yeah.
pro-Palestinians,
We
Muslims
know.
that hate Israel is I don't know, man. Like, look, he tried to blame Charlie Kirk's death on Iran too. There was a CEO that was murdered like yesterday or something.
Yeah, yeah, there was. Yeah.
I saw that they were trying to blame that on Iran.
Rob
When this
Reiner
happened,
died too.
what happened?
Rob Reiner. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, the famous Hollywood guy. He died too.
I think that was his kids killed. His kids killed him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was Iran.
But what are you saying? I mean, that's obviously coordinated, right?
I'm saying every time something like this comes out in the news, or every time it happens, Netanyahu jumps up. First
Oy
thing is
vey!
Iran did it.
Oy vey!
And look at this. Now they have it on the news saying it's a pro-Palestinian. All I'm saying is I'm skeptical when they
Yeah,
say
yeah.
a Palestinian group that was going to carry this out. That's
I'm
all I'm saying.
skeptical too. I'm
Did they
also
look, did they fit the description? Yes. But I'm skeptical because everybody seems to be a pro-Palestinian terrorist.
yeah. And the guy that bombed and the guy that shot up the beach where I live, he also seems to be Iranian, totally, totally, bro.
I
Totally.
haven't even dug deep into that, man, because
Oh,
I don't
I'll
know how
give you a video, by the way.
can't
Should we do
you
another
can't
deep
pay
dive?
attention to everything that everybody posts because some people post dumb shit, right? Like they
Yeah.
were posting that there were searches in Israel
Oh,
of
there
his name
was.
the day before. But bro, the time zones are different, you know? Like that I don't know.
True.
I
True.
don't know. Time zones are different. Like it says it was the day before, but in Australia it was actually the next day. You know, so some of the shit is stupid.
Yeah, Israel is
But
9 hours behind Australia, by the way, for your information.
yeah, so yeah, it was the search the day before, but it was the same fucking day. I don't know. Maybe it's true, but it seems like bullshit. That one. There's a lot of other shit that makes it look
Oh,
sketchy.
and do you want to do a deep dive on this, bro? If I tell you what time in a few days or whatever, if you're available, I mean, we can do a deep dive, right? Yeah.
For sure, because I haven't been paying much attention to
Yeah,
the
yeah. I
people.
mean, we can do this time tomorrow. I'm fine with that if you're fine with it, or earlier, whatever time you want to do. Um,
Maybe, I don't know,
we
maybe
we
the
can
next day.
sort we yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, we can sort it out. We can sort it out. That's fine. But before we end, bro, and before we end, guys, I want to just look at one video of this is another red pill thing. And this is where Myron kind of clashed with Chris Williamson. I'm sure you know who Chris Williamson is, Lavelle. He's a podcaster, he's a really famous guy. Do you know him? I'm sure you've seen his clips circulating YouTube. But this
This is
is
an
where he
old guy.
asks Mac and Murphy if body count matters, if it matters. And this is what his response was.
The impact of
Oh,
body count on long-term relationship success. I'm
You
always
know him,
surprised
right?
by how controversial this is.
yeah.
People who love to have casual sex and sleep with lots of people and hop from relationship to relationship, and as a result of all those behaviors, end up with a higher number for their age than you would otherwise expect. Those people are less likely to succeed in long-term monogamous pair bonds than people who do not like doing that and do not have that sort of track record. This is all true for men and women, by the way. And when I say succeed, I mean in terms of every outcome. I mean, more likely to get divorced, less likely to be satisfied in their relationships, more likely to cheat. If you subdivided the data neatly and said people with body count below 5, people with body count above 5, what's their infidelity rate? The infidelity rate of the above five group was double that of the below 5 group. No way. Yeah, this is not a nothing burger, right? This is a thing.
What is the impact?
Yeah. Lavelle, your reaction. Before we get your reaction, this is what Myron says. It does matter. Don't simp for your female audience like a pussy. Lost major respect for you for not putting out the Tate interview out of cowardice. So yeah, he called him a pussy, but what's your thoughts on this?
So was he arguing against it?
Yeah, he was kind of saying it doesn't really matter. And then the guy, he obviously named all the stats and he gave all the thing.
Yeah, man.
Do you want me to replay the clip? I'll replay the clip.
I'm saying,
Your body count on long-term relationship success. I'm always surprised by how controversial this is. People who love to have casual sex and sleep with lots of people and hop from relationship to relationship, and as a result of all those behaviors, end up with a higher number for their age than you would otherwise expect. Those people are less likely to succeed in long-term monogamous pair bonds than people who do not like doing that and do not have that sort of track record. This is all true for men and women, by the way. And when I say succeed, I mean in terms of every outcome. I mean, more likely to get divorced, less likely to be satisfied in their relationships, more likely to cheat. If you subdivided the data neatly and said people with body count below 5, people with body count above 5, what's their infidelity rate? The infidelity rate of the above five group was double that of the below 5 group. No way. Yeah, this is not a nothing burger, right? This is a thing.
Yeah, your reaction to it, Lavelle.
I mean, it makes sense. Of course, it's not going to be everybody, but if you take the mass sum of people, yeah, that's a common rule. Yeah, it's like obvious, you know. To deny that would be kind of it's like when people say, "Oh, I know somebody who did this and then they got married and it worked and they're happily married." You know, it's like, okay, cool. Not everybody, but as a general rule, of course they're going to be, you know, they're going to sleep around more if they've already slept around more.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, man. That's one of those arguments.
You think? Yeah, yeah, I think it matters for women as well a lot more. You know,
Yeah, because they tend to be imprinted upon. You know,
literally, like literally.
yeah, I mean, not by every guy they sleep with, to be fair.
Hmm.
I don't think so. A lot of them in the modern world do have the ability to sleep with men just for the game, for the fun of it. It's true. A lot of them do. But along that path, a lot of the guys that they sleep with, they're gonna get imprinted on mentally. Like I said about the liberal that dates a conservative and starts believing conservative views. So
Hmm. No, I
that
get
doesn't
it.
really
I get it.
happen vice versa as much.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
I can't think of an ex that I've dated that has like really changed my views that much.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, yeah, sure you could say that.
Not
Um,
that you can learn from somebody, but
hmm. Yeah, for sure. Lavelle, thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate it. We will do this again shortly. Great stories today, guys. I mean, very important stories to discuss, especially the feminist movement and now the new anti-Semitism laws in Australia and the unfortunate Bondi Beach shooting. And we're gonna go into the Bondi Beach shooting a little bit more. My boy Propaganda and Co. He made a video, and Lavelle and I are gonna go through that very shortly. So, Lavelle, thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate it.
I
We'll see everybody soon. I'll drop Lavelle's X in the description, and you can go follow him on there. You can go follow him on Instagram too. But anyways, guys, God bless. We will see you very soon. Thanks, Lavelle. See ya.
for sure. Peace.